Yo, what's up? Welcome to episode 19 of Throwback Hoops. My name is Rob Clayton, and joining me is my brother from another mother, Woody V. Woody, how you doing?
Good, brother. Always good to be back, man. And let's chop it up.
Great to have you back. How's that hand going, mate? It's recovering okay from last week? Or?
So it's all right, man. It's all right. I'll be out for a few more weeks yet.
Yeah,
but
we'll miss you. We'll miss you playing tonight, mate. But good stuff. All right. So look, before we get into it, boys, just a reminder for the people watching. Please subscribe on YouTube or wherever you sort of find your podcasts. Enough of that stuff. So now I'll sort of get onto the formalities. We've got another very, very special guest this week. It's with great pleasure that I introduce a man who has worked as an assistant coach with the Sydney Kings, as well as in China, and he's also the current assistant coach of the Illawarra Hawks. I would like to give a very warm welcome to Jacob Jackomas.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here, mate. Welcome. We've sort of been teeing this up for a little while, haven't we? Just sort of through a mutual friend. We're glad we sort of finally put this together. And we're really appreciative of your time there, Jacob. Great to have you on.
All good, man. I'm pretty pumped to be on. I thought it was just a link to get you guys to get Brian on, but I appreciate you having me, so we're good.
Is it Jacob? How do we say that surname? Is it Jackomas or Jackomas?
It's Jackomas. It's
okay. I fumbled a bit on that. Sorry.
And people that know me too, they know I've been known to yell at a few court announcers that have gotten it wrong in the day. So, but you guys are all cool. You can do what you want.
We'll run with JJ. That's easier, right?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, or Jacob.
I'm good with that.
All right, perfect. All right, good stuff. So, Jacob, as you know, anyone that comes on the show, we love for them to wear a jersey and sort of maybe tell a little bit of a story about that jersey. So, why don't you take us away today?
All right, I got my little my Greece jersey right now. So I'm a man from Greek heritage, and I'm very proud of it. But and obviously massive Giannis fan right now, and just love the fact that he plays for his country. And then I also got it too, because I don't look Greek. I sort of got to wear it around the streets just so some of those Greek mothers know, just in case, I'm about to go speak to their daughters or something like that. They know I'm from strong Greek heritage.
Nice. I was going to say, Giannis had a pretty solid game yesterday, didn't he? He was about 17 of 20 from the field. So, you'd probably you'd take that on your team any day. So,
yeah.
Really appreciate it. Exactly right. So good stuff. Appreciate you showing us the jersey as well, Jojo. Cool. All right, Woody, why don't you show us what you're wearing this week, mate?
Yeah, look, I thought it would only be fitting as we have Coach Jacob on the show today that I wear the famous Hurley name on my back. So while I stand up, Robbie, you want to take the audience through the jersey that I'm rocking?
Definitely, yeah. So Woody's standing up wearing the very old school 1990s Bobby Hurley Sacramento Kings jersey. So that's a very nice looking jersey, that one. Woody, tell us a little bit about Bobby Hurley and obviously that connection he's got to sort of coaching as well there.
Yeah, so Hurley moved into coaching in 2010, and now he serves as the head coach of Arizona State. Great coaching pedigree in that family with Bobby Hurley's senior and younger brother Dan Hurley, as you might know, Jacob. Very a lot of roots in coaching in that family, and even Dan Hurley's the current head coach at UConn University now. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was a very handy player too, wasn't he? I believe it was a car accident I think he had back in the day.
Yeah. He was the 7th pick in the 1993 NBA draft to the Sacramento Kings. And although he had a promising rookie year towards the end of that season, as you said, he had a serious life-threatening car accident, and his NBA career never achieved the success one may have expected. And by 1998, he's out of the league. But Bobby Hurley will most be remembered for his college career. He's still the all-time assist leader in the NCAA, if I'm not mistaken, Robbie. And he graduated and became a 4-year starter and All-American at Duke University. Bobby, along with Grant Hill and Christian Lattner, led that Blue Devils team to 2 NCAA titles in 91 and 92. His number 11 jersey is also retired by Duke. And a fun fact, he did appear in Blue Chips alongside Shaq and Penny.
Too, didn't he?
You guys may remember, the movie.
Loved
it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. And then the other thing he did was he also led that team, the only team to ever beat the Dream Team. He was
that's true.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah. Achievement.
That is true.
I'd love to get a copy of that tape. It's sort of funny you mentioned those NCAA games, Woods. That's when we used to get those games on ABC in the early 90s. You get one NCAA game and it'd be like late on a Friday night. So, yeah, he was an absolute – he used to just tear people apart in college, didn't he? So, no, very fitting. It's a nice-looking jersey, that one too. So, look, I know we didn't sort of try and do that, but I'm wearing a Kings jersey today as well, which is a bit weird. So, look, before I go on to that, though, I thought, look, it was only fitting, with Jacob coming on the show that I did sort of have – a bit of a reference to the Hawks in the background. Now, obviously, this is a bit of an older jersey, and it's a Wollongong jersey. But yeah, just thought it was sort of fitting that I sort of wore that. So that jersey I'm hanging is an old school Glenn Saville Wollongong Hawks jersey. So, look, Jacob, I know he had left the Gong a long time before you got there, but I believe you were actually with him in his one season with the Kings. Am I right?
Yeah. So I'll tell you a story about me and Glenn. He slept on an inflatable mattress towards the end of the Kings season at my house.
Would have been a big mattress, jeez.
Yeah, I couldn't get him with my I was living at my parents' house at the time because I was only young and had no money. Because obviously after that the Kings folded and they weren't paying too many bills, including his rent. So to this day, I mean, we see Glenn all the time. You just reminded me, I've got to call him back, but. Yeah, no, he's a legend down here. He's been really supportive of us down here. It's been great. It's been great being around him.
It's funny, Woody and I were speaking earlier, and I was like, why was he only in Sydney for that 1 year? And I had a bit of a mental blank, but yeah, you've just sort of answered that. That was when the Kings were sort of, having sort of financial difficulties and everything else like that. So that answers that question well. So, all right, good stuff. Look, in terms, so Jacob, each week I sort of showcase 2 jerseys. I'll sort of have one hanging up and just sort of wear one. I've just got a pretty crazy collection, so why not show 2 a week? Better than one, right? So, look, in terms of the jersey I'm wearing this week, I'll just sort of stand up and quickly show you that one. And Woods, maybe you can tell sort of the viewers what I'm wearing.
Yes, so for all the audience that are listening to the podcast and can't see, Robbie's wearing a Sacramento Kings Mitch Richmond dark jersey, the opposite one, Kings jersey to the one that I'm wearing, Robbie. I know you're a huge fan of Mitch Richmond as well.
I am, Woods. Yeah, I've certainly been a fan of Mitch Richmond over the years. I think he's someone personally that's gotten forgotten about a little bit. The only time I really hear his name now is when people say, oh, Mitch Richmond's in the Hall of Fame, and they kind of almost, poke a bit of fun at him there. But look, just a little bit about Mitch there. So 14 seasons in the NBA. He was drafted at pick 5 in the 1988 draft out of Kansas State. He really made his name with Sacramento. So he played 7 of his 14 seasons there. And then he played 3 seasons with Golden State where he started and then 3 with Washington.
Run TMC, baby.
That's right. And in his last year, he played for the Lakers in 2002, where he got his first NBA championship ring. If you remember that championship series, you probably don't remember seeing Mitch much. I think he played about 5 minutes the whole playoff series. So it was a little bit of an Andrew Gaze championship ring, and I'm sure Drew won't mind me saying that. But a little bit of one of those sort of rings there. But look, in terms of Richmond, obviously you got that one chip, 6-time All-Star game MVP in 95. He was Rookie of the Year. And also he's a Hall of Famer where he was inducted in 2014. His number 2 that I'm wearing is retired by Sacramento. He also played for Team USA in the 1988 and 1996 Olympics there. So he certainly had a good career there. Woods, I like to show some sort of memorabilia or bobblehead or figurine or something like that. So I've got 2 this week, just to impress you there. So
got it.
I've got the little one here. So the little Mitch Richmond here, which is the same jersey I'm wearing. So hold him up there. He's in that defensive stance there, which is cool. And I've got this one, which is probably a bit better. So this is an old school Golden State Warriors Mitch Richmond with the old sort of Warriors jersey. This is one of those special stadium giveaways in America, so they weren't actually for sale at the time. So yeah, a little bit of memorabilia, as I like to show there. So all right, awesome, boys. I appreciate you sort of showing us the jerseys and speaking on those. So, look, I want to get right into it and obviously have a bit of a chat with Jacob there. So, you ready for this, Jacob?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I think we'll be all right.
Good stuff. All right. So, Jacob, we wanted to obviously speak with you about your extensive career as an assistant coach. I did mention briefly at the start of the show, you started with the Sydney Kings in 2006. Since that time, you were obviously with Sydney, and then quite an extensive period in China where you played with Dongguan sort of working on that pronunciation, and Shanghai amongst other teams there. And you also obviously coached a number of junior teams and coached at sort of, elite sort of private school level as well, before joining the Illawarra Hawks last season. So I was just sort of wondering, I guess, when you reflect on your career so far, what have been some of the most enjoyable and memorable moments to date for you?
Early on, we did a lot of winning, so I was a bit spoiled early on. I'm not going to lie. And there was some grand final series and stuff like that I was able to go to, play big roles or small roles, especially early on in the career. Like I was kind of young I think I started at 26 with the Kings and sort of grew into a role there and, sort of created a role. So I'm pretty proud of that, like sort of come from nothing sort of thing. And then, it's real funny, like some of my satisfying moments in coaching has been players that I haven't been linked to with teams that have done well, through, Asia Cups, World Champ, their own leagues, WNBL, NBL, and state team stuff. That I'm pretty proud of. Then there's a lot of names where, because we have extensive off seasons, we can do work with different kind of players.
Yep.
And then, I had a pretty fun time with the under 18 boys team at the Sydney Comets. We won a state championship. I sort of got thrown out of the final, so I didn't really see how it ended. But I got to celebrate. Our best player got kicked out. He's actually playing for the Kings right now, and he never got kicked out. He just got fouled out. I don't want to talk smack.
Hey, Jacob, you can't just leave it there. What did you say to the ref?
I don't think I did anything wrong.
Okay.
I don't know. It was two technicals, and one was on a flopping foul, and it's just in the heat of the moment. I could have said something, that could have got me thrown, but the boys, I was really proud. I was really proud of the group. It's one of those ones where they didn't embarrass. I got thrown out and they lose, so I got thrown out and they won. So I was pretty happy with them. So they got to get a big time mention, all those guys, because they sort of made me look like less of an idiot out there. And then did some stuff at obviously I worked at Knox Grammar School like recently, and I just we were able to have lifelong bonds with some of the kids there. You know what I mean? And that's the main thing with everything that I do is that some of the guys now that I coach when I was real young, some of them are coaching right now. We've got a couple that work with us, in the video section of what we do. There's been some winning, and obviously with Brian, you do heaps of winning. There's been games where we've stormed courts. I don't remember them all, but there's been some unbelievable feelings. There's been some horrible feelings too. But I guess it's now is I don't know if I'm old, but as I start to get it, is being able to help people in a position that I'm in right now is sick. I just love it. I just love being able to help.
So Jacob, just out of curiosity, Jacob, that under 18s player that got kicked out, that's on the Kings now.
No, he never got kicked out. I don't want to. No. So Bilal plays for the Kings right now.
All right, yeah. No,
he's my guy. No, he just got fouled out on a bit of a suspect call.
Oh, yeah.
If we could speak honestly, it was a bullshit call. So it wasn't his fault. But he hit a big three to get us into overtime. He hit a big three to, it was like a bit of a prayer. So thanks, bro, for that. And then it was overtime, and he got his fifth foul on a bad call, and I got thrown on questioning it. You know what I mean? So he's all right. He's all right. He's all right.
Well, we had Coach Hesh on the show not so long ago, who you might know, who works closely with Bawali, right?
Yeah.
So, he speaks very, very highly of
Bawali's back this week. Weekend as well, isn't he, I think?
He's not going to play tonight. He's
okay, is that right?
Yeah. He's not going to play tonight?
Yeah.
We got the scoop.
Yeah, got the scoop. Yeah.
I don't know how he finds out this stuff, Jacob. He's always ahead of these things. We pick our fantasy teams. He always knows this stuff, and he doesn't tell me till after the thing's locked each week. So,
Woody, I might get your number after this and just get every week when we play someone, just flick me a text and tell me what's going on there. Is that cool with that?
Yeah, you got it, man. You got it.
This has been worth it. Then we're good. You're going to know everything. I'm going to give you everything.
Nice. Well, Jacob, just wanted to sort of see, I guess, what first got you into coaching. And obviously, do you come from a basketball background? I've got some sources that tell me you might have been a pretty handy soccer player back in the day as well. So maybe you can speak on that.
Man, obviously, I'm born in the 80s, so, and there was no YouTube or anything like that. I was a handy soccer player. I was a handy basketball player. I could dunk it. can't prove shit now, can you really?
That's right. That's right.
I don't know about handy. It was in that era where basketball wasn't a big deal, and every one of my friends played soccer, and I wanted to be inside. I didn't really like the winter sports, so my parents put me in basketball. No one was doing it, and just played a little bit. Wasn't very good. Loved it. Not going to lie at all. Sucked. Just stayed with it, stayed persistent. And then my cousins started to play just in a local league. And I was, it was just one team. And then half the team, because of the age groups, got split up and kids couldn't play. And I went and watched their grand final that they were in. And then all these other kids weren't playing. And I go, I'll just coach it. I didn't know what I was doing. A year later, no, not even. I sort of started to love it, got into it. I was 24, something like that, still playing PlayStation, not knowing what you were doing with your life. Just hang out, and then about 6 months later, the development officer at the Comets was a coach named Tom Ma, who obviously everyone knows that name.
Yep.
And then we got into it, and I've got like a family friend, more family than friend, that wanted to play. She was 10 years old. She's gone on and played professionally in Greece and everything. She's older now. Okay. And she was 10 years old, and she had two older siblings, and dad worked, and she couldn't. I didn't want to coach rep basketball. Tom asked me, he rang me on the phone. He goes, "Hi, I'm Tom Ma." He goes, "Do you want to coach rep basketball?" I go, "No, mate. I want to go out and party." And made the rep team. Supposedly she was pretty good. He said she was pretty good. And then he said, if for the sake of her playing, do you want to coach the team? And I was like, well, stuff that. I go, I'm not good enough to do that, because it was a Division I team. You know how it is back in those days. I go, how about I coach the Division II team to you, learn off you, and then I'll do this thing properly, And then from that, 6 months later, I was coaching Bill Tomlinson's partner's daughter at the time. Met him. He thought I was doing a shit job, I would imagine. So he pulled me over, gave me some tips, was eager to learn, liked it, had the coins on the desk. He was moving them around, didn't know what he was talking about. And I don't like to not know what's going on. Then linked into him, asked him stupid questions. I'm sure, he wouldn't remember. I do. I remember some of the questions I used to ring him about. Got into that. He rang me up one day and said, "Do you want to help?" And it started with pressing a clock at the Kings, sitting on the bench whenever I had a day off from work. And I went and did that. 2 weeks later, I quit my job, did it full time. The next year, I did the video, learned how to do the video.
Yep.
And then it just, I think someone got fired from the bench. And I think I was in Wollongong my first day. And I remember the shopping center. They go, "You're at the front of the bench." And I go, "To do what?" And they go, "You're going to coach." And, okay, do you have pants? And I go, "No, go buy some." Had no money. Had to get my mum to drive down because didn't want to ask Gorge or anything like that. Wasn't there yet. Had to get my mum to drive down from Sydney to Wollongong to buy me a pair of pants. Got my belt. My pants were falling down all the time, during the game. Didn't know what I was doing. Nervous. But, and then sat on the end of the bench. The next year, I know this for a fact, Brian wanted to replace me, and we'll talk about that later on. And Billy said, it's your job, and someone's got to take it off you. And I just refused. And ever since then, man, just living the dream, just been lucky to be employed, never been really out of work. So just blessed, as the people would say, so that's my story.
Oh, that's awesome. And look, a little bit of a segue. You obviously mentioned sort of Brian Goorjian. As I said to you, Jacob, just one question about Gorge. We're not going to sort of get you on there and ask 50 questions about Gorge. But, yeah, just wanted to obviously sort of see with that, mate. So, for the past 13 years, you guys have worked together, and just wanted to sort of know how that relationship sort of formed. You've kind of answered that a little bit. And obviously what it's been like working with such an absolute legend there.
Yeah, I mean, there's something it's something there's something that I'll never get again. You know what I mean? And a lot of people that I've worked with, and I've got a lot of lifelong friends in basketball, which I've been blessed about. You know, there's a million of them, but obviously he's the number one because I've been around him for a long time. And with the China experience, lived in the same room, worked Saturday night out, dinners, this and that. And I think we've had one argument in our time. Like we argue about basketball all the time. Yeah, I mean, and that's and not in a bad way. We agree on everything, but we argue about everything. But we keep talking. We had one argument all the time, and it was about something really stupid, and no one remembers what it is. So in that whole time, just got on. He's a really easy person to work for. You know, I get a lot of things. Is, man, you work for Brian, man. It must be like, you know, he lives and breathes it. He must have you up until 2 a.m, this and that, you know, because he's a dominant personality. He is the easiest person I've ever worked for in my life.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? Yep. Lets you be you. Definitely lets me be me. Yep. Lets me make mistakes on his dime, which is unbelievable. You know, like, will sacrifice himself, you know, for the sake of it. Sometimes he has to pull me in line, which I'm cool with, you know what I mean? And well, of course, but he's the easiest person in the world. And obviously now it's more like, he won't like it. And he's like my dad, but let's say brothers because he's not that old, you know what I mean? But definitely that. And obviously it's cliche more than basketball, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, like obviously gone to his daughter's wedding, you know his grandkids.
That's awesome.
The only time he did threaten me, I was never allowed to marry his daughter, but I don't know what that was about anyway. But he can't threaten anyone, but okay. But and then his his wife is a massive part of my life as well, and really helps me with not making bad decisions. You know, so I'm awesome. Really grateful to the whole family.
Hey, has he still got a pretty good jump shot on him as well there, Jojo? I know he was a pretty handy shooter when he was a bit younger.
He could. I mean, I make sure the boys know that he holds the record, and I don't care if he doesn't anymore, but who cares? But he holds the record for 3-pointers in a half. I think he had 10 and a half or 11 and a half one. Wow. I mean, I think he had like 30 points at half and then 31 for the game. But that doesn't matter. The second half doesn't matter.
Forget the second half.
So when the boys roll in there, I think he likes it that I make sure they know that. You know what I mean? They make sure, and I think he's going to like the fact that I've told all you guys that as well. Nice. But now what he does is he rocks that weight room pretty hard. So he's kind of impressive in the weight room. I'll give him that. You know, and
he looks like he's in great shape.
Yeah, he does pretty good. He does all right. He does all right for whatever, he's 69, 70 years old. So so I think the shoulders, because he does all that, I think the shoulders are a little sore. It's hard for him to get the ball above his head right now. But he could shoot it back in the day.
Nice.
So, I mean, Jacob, you did mention China, right? And obviously all the time you spent over there with him. Why don't you tell us a little bit, if you don't mind, about what that experience was like, coaching, living over there in that environment. How was that for you?
Like early on when I went there, so I got there pretty much straight away, and I had to go watch a team play. So I went there, obviously no idea where I was going, sat in a car for 2 hours, and just waiting to get there. And then 2 days later, I was off at a tournament watching this junior team I was going to take over. So I saw Brian and Nick Popovich at the time for about 5 minutes, and then basically I was out. So the first couple of and what I didn't know was that tournaments over there take forever. So they can be, where our tournaments are 10 days. So if you go away with a junior national team or you go away with a state team, you're away for about 10 days. There it's like 3 to 4 weeks. So it's brutal. So we went away, and obviously in the middle of nowhere, the food, the beginning of it was as rough as it got.
For sure.
Didn't know what time the game times was, so I just had to be ready by 8 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes the game was 8 o'clock at night, and there was a brutal start to it. But then as it went on and moved to the senior team and coaching in the CBA and being able to, obviously the talented players. My first year was the lockout year, so Wilson Chandler, Marbury, J.R. Smith. Who else was there at the time that there was another one there.
Swansea Wells, maybe.
Bonzi Wells was before me.
Yeah, okay.
Bonzi Wells was before me. He got big by the time.
What about Josh Smith? Was he over there that time?
Yeah,
I know he had
Josh Smith was there. Yep, I remember him.
Yeah, he's one of my all-time favourites. Why I'm asking that. So
there was a couple that came in for a second and got out real quick as well. But when that lockout year was, and it was a contract year for us, so it was a high pressure year. And so anything else that goes on right now, we're pretty cool. But obviously we were my first year in the seat. And then when I say first year, I came in the second year to Brian. Brian had a year before. And then I came in and was his assistant. I was doing the junior team before. And those junior players were coming up to the senior team. So I just jumped on that bandwagon. And obviously with Brian, I got on with him well. And that first year we went 0-3. And I just left. I was in Australia. Everyone loved me. I was coaching kids. Every time you do extra for parents with their kids and you do it for nothing, there's no. And I've never been 0-3, and like you lose the next one, you're fired. And you're running down. This is my first job, and Marbury was coming into town, and they actually won it that year. And he's a good basketball player, but he was still hooping at that time.
Oh yeah.
And he wanted it, you know what I mean? So, and he came into our gym. We had just flown in from somewhere. We were 0-3 on a 3-game road trip, which is hard. The China travel is much harder than this. And Marbury was sitting there with obviously the best team in it. They won it that year. And they were sitting there for a couple of days resting as we flew in the night before and we're going to play the next day. And if we didn't win it, there was some talk of us going. And a good friend of mine wrote an English article about how bad we were, and I keep reminding him of it. And for some reason, we always were able to get Marbury's team. We just had a bit of a knack. So we won that one, and we went on a 12-game winning streak. And and then we signed another contract, and we just were rolling over there. But high pressure, much more high pressure. The language barrier wasn't as bad as everyone thinks.
Sure. Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as everyone thinks. We had great interpreters, we had great staff, great human beings, which we were really lucky about. We had a big, at one stage, so Billy was over there, Bruce Palmer was over there, Gorge was, so nice. It was a smorgasbord. Yeah. It was a smorgasbord of just knowledge every day at dinner for me. You know what I mean?
How was Gorge able to sort of ride the refs over there? Was that through a translator, or could the refs sort of understand?
Yeah, we would come back. Yeah. It was, they don't understand a lot of it. You know what I mean? But, Gorge is pretty, I know that, there's some, he's pretty, he's pretty animated and stuff like that. And you got to get used to him, but he doesn't. And I know he's gotten a few technicals of late, but he doesn't really say a lot. Yeah. And it's a lot to his players or to us. So, there wasn't a big problem over there. There's some suspect refereeing, and there's some stories we can tell where the general manager taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "Don't worry, we won this game today." And you're like, "Oh, yeah." but and there's some ones where you worry about, well, is the general manager of the other team telling them that they've won? But one thing with Gorge, when I speak about him, people go, best thing about him. Yeah, he lets you be yourself. I mean, the players love playing for him. Obviously, we love working for him. Everyone whoever's love working for him. But the one thing that I've learned the most, never quits. Yeah, 20 down, never quits. And in China with that refereeing part of it, where a lot of guys would be weak and roll over. He is just, I go, man, we're not, sometimes I go, man, I don't know if we're going to win this. And he'd be look at you and so he's got a line. There's no quit in the gorge, and he says it too much, but there actually, and I hope he doesn't watch this, but there actually isn't any quit in him, and you just learn what he does to win. You know what I mean? So and you just, as a staff, you just thrive off it.
Awesome. No, that's really great. Really sort of interesting to hear about your time in China there. I'd sort of forgotten about, the lockout and sort of all those sort of fringe, NBA players. I think Ty Lawson was probably another one. I'm just sort of thinking of his name. I think he was over there at the time too, wasn't he? So
what's his name? Psycho T was over there.
Oh yeah, Tyler Hansborough.
Yeah, man. There's a couple of guys where you go,
the ball in the China shop himself.
Yeah, I met Shaq as well over there.
Nice.
And I've never been star, like whatever you call it, without using, word, but I've never been like, I was like, man, that's Shaq. And Coach goes, yeah, I know. I mean, no, that's Shaq. And there's a photo of me and he's got his hand on, it's like, I'm a small guy, you know what I mean? But it was cool. It was cool. And there was coaches over there too. Like there was famous coaches over there. You just met so many people. It was a great time. It was a great time.
Oh, that's awesome. Really appreciate that. And look, I thought we might just touch on the Hawks a little bit this season there, JJ. So obviously at the time of recording, it's Thursday, the 10th of February. The Hawks are currently 6-6 and in 5th place on the ladder. Just wanted to sort of see how you've seen the season going so far, obviously noting that the season has been really interrupted, especially for you guys with the whole COVID stuff there. Yeah,
I mean, COVID's on everyone right now. And we're thinking we're kind of lucky. Everyone got it at the same time. We were locked in over Christmas, so no one. Second year in the row, we didn't have Christmas again, which kind of sucked a bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the only complaint we sort of have. But really, we got a little bit of a second preseason in. We're sort of trying to find our way. Right now we've dropped a few of late, but. And this is the truth, we probably wouldn't want to be in this situation with any other guys. And the season's long but short. And again, I'm talking in cliche, which I hate, but it's we've got a process that we're sort of sticking to, and we're going to see if it works. But it's a different team to last year. It's a different vibe around Wollongong to last year. We were sort of like jumping around out of our skin. Everyone rid us off. We had what they predicted us at. We had all that. And we played that role really well. And now we're trying to figure out how to play that role with a little bit of expectation. And we could do it. We could say every excuse in the world. We got the youngest team by far, or we got this, or we got that. But everyone's got that. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're just going to hoop. We're going to do our day-to-days. We lose one, we're going to pick ourselves up. We win one, we're going to celebrate and get a little better every time and not change. And then by the end of it, like last year, hoping we sneak in over there. You know what I mean? But we're saving all the tweets, all the stuff of people writing us off and everything. And I'm enjoying it because I think our guys – get off on it a bit, So.
The old bulletin board material, right? We're showing our age a little bit there, but yeah. And also, I was just sort of thinking as well, Jacob, with the schedule there, it must be sort of hard to plan for that. I mean, we even saw last week, I think Sydney had their game changed maybe 3 days before it was due to happen. They were meant to be playing Cairns and it got changed to New Zealand. So that must be hard as well when you're sort of scouting and getting ready for oppositions, and then games either get cancelled or sort of totally changed like that as well.
Yeah, I mean that's another good thing about Brian. You know what I mean? Like it's been I think we prepared for Melbourne. We were going to play Melbourne. They cancelled. No, they didn't. No, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they got whatever they got, and to be fair, a lot of the assistants around the league we communicate. You know what I mean? Like hey man, don't prepare for us, right? We're not, when we were in it, I have a couple of mates around the league. We were going to play Cairns, I think it was. And hey man, don't bother preparing. We're out for 10. You know what I mean? We got this many guys got it, you know what I mean? This and that, whatever. And so, I mean, and Reese is a good friend of mine. We communicate with in different situations, and, they were out. And then I remember CJ played for Brian, and CJ everyone's been really good around. It's been really good to see. It's really warming, that there's a lot of links. Obviously, people played for each other or played with each other or know each other. And, with this COVID thing, because a lot of the teams in the States, especially in this college thing, they're trying to make it to their advantage. You know what I mean? We're in this thing, we just play basketball, which is cool. So I think we were meant to, we went to play Melbourne, then we were meant to play Adelaide, and then it was a third. So we prepared for 3 teams in like 3 days. And I was up until whatever it is, and Brian's like, man, I'm not, that's where he's at is how are they preparing for us? You know what I mean? And put your energy, put your energy into the players, rebound a basketball, have a conversation with a player, make sure they're okay. And then we'll deal with whatever we deal with on the day. You know what I mean? So where, in my position, and, obviously with the other assistant Sean we got is we could be, if it's someone that was a little bit harsher, it'd be, hey man, get it done, and I want it done like it's done if you have a week, and definitely no, it's not that. Is put your and be fresh, So, man, again, is it's just been lucky to be involved with someone like that gets it,
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and Coach Jacob, I just wanted to bring something up with you, man. Like, I was at Sydney Airport at the Qantas Lounge, I think around December 19th, 20th, somewhere around that time. You guys were heading to Brisbane just before the COVID bug hit the team, and I saw you guys interact as a team and how close the bond was. I actually had a quick chat with Diop Reith at the airport that day, and Tyler Harvey's come out and said, "Look, this is the closest group that I've ever played with," right? And you spoke about you wouldn't rather do with another group of guys than this. How important is it, when tough times are with the team, that this camaraderie off the court and on the court is so strong between the group that you're with at the moment?
I mean, it started from last year, started from last year, like when I would say to it last year, and I got, you're going to ask me who my favorite player is and all that sort of stuff, right? We're going to do that. And it started from last year, and I've been involved in some unbelievable teams. Like I've said, some lifelong friends, that have played for me. Some people that I've worked out, like I said, WNBL, NBL 1, people coming from playing in Europe, that have just been friends, obviously, and that is. And last year's team was when we walked through, got on, and there wasn't one dent in that personality, and they played like that. And it started from the young Australian core, what I mean? It started from some of the older guys that came in and loosened their ego, what I mean? Obviously AJ Timmy, who, because it's hard to hang around in Albury, Cairns for 2 months with young punks, you know what I mean?
I hear that.
Yeah. And we've got kids and stuff like that. And then obviously our imports, Tyler is massive. Justinian, quiet, but is an unbelievable human being. And Justin Simon was single-handedly one of the funniest people in the world. You know what I mean? And everyone could, and including the staff, could be made fun of and make fun of.
Right.
And obviously now is that when you come into that environment, this is what it is. You know what I mean? And it's not because a lot of that, sometimes you hear a lot of BS about that stuff.
For sure.
And I'm saying it because I'm gonna offend some people. You know what I mean? Because there's some, like, I've coached family, I've coached friends, best friends, and and brothers and whatever it is. You know what I mean? And that group was special. You know what I mean? And now what's happened is you have to come with it. You can't be on your own, or it's probably uncomfortable for some people. And then going on Duop, obviously we were recruiting him, and I just before the Olympics, and then we got him eventually, which we're pumped about. And then I met him first at the Olympics, and the boys were really worried about it because they knew how special our vibe was last year. And then as soon as I met him at the Olympics, I was like, he's a really good guy, and we're lucky again. You know what I mean? So now it's been, I guess we've just been lucky. You know what I mean? Like because he come up and, hey, I'm Duop, you're my guy. This is in the first 5 minutes of it. So I just write a text message back to the guys. Hey, this guy's legit. We got nothing to worry about. And it made everyone happy. So
awesome.
I mean, it's been really cool. You know what I mean? And then we've lost some guys. And the hard part is losing guys. You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't know who my favorite is on this team. I'm texting with Isaac 2 minutes ago. Sam Froling, Dan Greeder, Emma, it's all cool. You know what I mean? On any given day. Now they're going to piss me a little bit off during the game, but that's a little part of what's going on, this thing. But yeah, man, I'll agree with him on that one. It's tight, and right now we're being tested. We're really being tested on how tight we are.
I hear that.
So and we haven't. No one's flinched. And they know it's business, and they know someone's going to get burnt, and Gorge is into them and everything. And it is what it is. And we might not come out at the end of it, but we're good. You know what I mean? That way. And it's true what Tyler says. And Tyler's a big part of it as well. He's unbelievable. He's bought some small dog though that I'm not really wouldn't mind kicking across the room. But anyway, whatever.
Nice. No, I appreciate that. Well, it's definitely that time for that question that I know you're going to love there, Jacob. So you sort of touched on it before. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of see maybe who's the best player that you've coached during your time in the league, and also who are some other players that you've enjoyed sort of working with over this time. So like, it could be sort of any type of player there that you've actually enjoyed working with, I guess.
I mean, the best player, we had a few in China, this and that. So, I mean, right now is in our team right now, because we got that young group. It's, I mean, Sam's unbelievable to work with. If we can get some things, if we can get some, and he's such a sponge, if we can get some things right with him. AK Gak, who you haven't seen, a Colder, you haven't seen a lot of.
Yeah, we've heard about him though, a lot of good things. So
yeah. AK's doing good. AK's doing good and humbled and works hard and what you want out of a kid. He's not. Yeah, I'm sure it's coming for him at some stage, but he's not. He ain't worried about Instagram or he's just doing his job. All the boys, Greta, Emmett, Isaac, they've all got their like as your favorites in this spot right now. I've been lucky enough to work out some girls, my family friend, Vanessa Panousis, who played at Virginia Tech, and now she's in Greece. Lauren Nicholson, she's one of my favorite in the off-season. She comes down and works out. Katie Ray Esri, I worked her out. I always had fun doing something different there. Alex Marich was fun. He used to kick the ball a little bit. He used to piss me off, but that's okay. we got a little bit of a friendship there still to this day. They're ones that I never coached in a game.
Yeah,
that I sort of enjoyed. But in regard to now, I really enjoy our guys, and they really let me be me. And then back in the day, Sav was like really fun for me because when the Kings blew up, he was still trying to make the Olympics, and I was able. And he had no one else. There was no one else around. Brian had left for Melbourne. And I was able to work this Olympian out and get him better. You know what I mean? And do that. And it was, I mean, he wouldn't remember her, but he had to sort of, because he was in a little bit of a desperate mode to make the team, as everyone is at the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if you're Patty Mills or Joe Ingles. I mean, not that obviously I met him at the Olympics, but I can't speak for him. I don't want to speak out of line. But I'm sure you can tell the way they play. They're desperate to be there and what they say. You know what I mean? So for the best players we've ever produced, and I'm sure Andrew was the same, Bogut, I don't know those people. But what I'm saying is that there's and he was trying to make the team. And I think it was his second Olympics he was trying to make. And I think it was Beijing, and it was probably his last shot at it. So it was, I really learned a lot in that period of time with him, and gained confidence as a young coach because this guy was listening to me. You know what I mean? And then he made the team and this and that. And he just sends photos of me. It's really weird what he does on TV. He takes photos of the TV and sends photos to me during the game. I think that's weird, Sav. But other than that, just that growth of all these players, because maybe a little bit of like desperation, all of them, that they had no one else to work out with in Sydney. I was able to deal with all these people through highs and lows, you know what I mean? And learn so much, about it. In China, it was the same. We're paying guys $2-3 million, and all they got is you because you can speak English. So they need you.
Yeah.
And now and I've just been lucky that way that I've sort of been, I don't know, because, and now you go, well, now I did this with Sam, or I did this with this person, I did this with that, or this person, and that's your experience gained. And because you got it's easier now because I got some runs on the board, So
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like, man, I can't see. And then there's all the young kids, you know what I mean? The kids at Knox, the kids at the Comets, the kids on the state team, the kids on the Australian team. I've been like blessed to. I haven't really had, no, that's probably a lie. That's probably a lie. But I don't remember the last dickhead I had. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
yeah.
Like I mean, and I don't know if it's because my personality or the way I do it, or I'm sure, but it's just been real cool, and basically this thing's just big hanging out. I get to hang out with Gorge. I get to hang out with the assistants. Our strength guy was the strength guy at Cleveland when they won the championship. You know what I mean? He brings his ring around to show off, like all that stuff and that. But, and I get to hang out with him. I get to hang out with our physio. I get to hang out with, they're just all nice people. And I think it's a bit of the leadership of it. Obviously, Brian attracts great people, all that sort of stuff. So when you say it like that, I know I'm freaking talking too much, and I apologize, but
we love it, mate.
We love it.
The next question I had as well, Jacob, and obviously sort of it's been great sort of hearing about your coaching journey to date, but just wanted to see, I guess, as a head coach role, is that something you aspire to, or are you sort of currently happy doing what you're doing now and working as that kind of lead assistant?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know what I mean, but it's real funny. It's I look at it right now and of course there's no question whatsoever that you shouldn't sit in my seat if you don't want to be a head coach.
Yeah.
Word.
You shouldn't sit in my seat. And I said that once to Brian, I'm cool doing this. And he was like, man, if you don't want to be you can go away. You know what I mean? Now, obviously loyalty, I get a bit funny saying it because, like the next thing is, oh, well, what's Brian doing next? You know what I mean? He's going forever. So I'm just going to squash that next one. You know what I mean? Like, because that's the next one. So I get a bit funny when I say it, but yeah, like I want to give it a shot. But I really enjoy the role I can play here, and with Gorge too is how stretched he is. Like everyone, the media want him all the time. He's got the boomer thing going on. He's dealing with a lot of big fish. He's allowing me to do some of that. Maybe not so much head coaching on the floor. We got all our roles on the floor, but managing some people, dealing with some situations. I'm getting a lot of on the job learning. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I'm getting that stuff. It's cool. You know what I mean? And I'll coach anything. Like that's the other thing is I don't care. Yeah. I ain't like, you want 12-year-old. Well, I've never done under 12s actually, but I've done under 14 girls, and it was one of my favorite teams. Boom, I'll do that. You know what I mean? 16 boys, 18 boys, WNBL, blah 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 blah, NBL. You know what I mean? It's just coaching to me. So whatever it is I have been a head coach at a school, but you're asking me about the NBL. You know what I mean? And professionally, and you can't sit in my seat and not do that. Yeah,
it's a great answer, the way you've explained that exactly. You're not just sitting there just to do that forever. Of course, you want to sort of do that. But I like the way you frame that there. Yeah,
but I also want a chapter in Gorge's book, eh? I think you should have a whole fucking chapter about me. What do you reckon?
I reckon you should for sure. Maybe a couple, right?
What do you think you should call it? That's the thing is just Jake or that's my...
I once wanted to get rid of this guy, but he stayed for.
I couldn't get rid of him.
Nice.
We call him the provider because he provides everyone their pay packet. So I just want everyone, if you could get that catching on too, that'd be sick.
Awesome.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, Jacob, I've saved the last question of this sort of first part of the show. It's a very hard-hitting question, so I hope you're ready for this one, mate. It's about your Canadian import on the team. Every week when I watch the Hawks play, his surname is pronounced differently, and it's kind of starting to bug me a little bit because there's even commentators that are saying, and this is me after I stuffed up your name in the intro, so I apologise about that, but I'm even hearing commentators saying his name different in the game. So, of course, I'm referring to the X-Man there. So I'm hearing his name pronounced as Rathan Mays, and Rathan Mays. Just wondering if you could confirm what is the right pronunciation for him there.
So I can't confirm anything, and I read it.
What do you call it?
And we call him X.
Nice.
Well, sometimes we go, oh, fuck X, but everyone's got that in their name, including me. But I think it's Rathan Mays. But
okay, that's what you said too, Woods. I think. Yeah.
Now the thing
I said Rathan. I think I don't know.
I'm getting confused now too.
I mean, the thing with X is. The thing that he won't mind. So if he's listening to this, he won't mind. And I'll tell you why he won't mind. Because Gorge calls him AC, which is obviously Antonius.
Antonius Cleveland.
Yeah.
So as long as you're calling him X, I don't think he'll care too much. You know what I mean? So we're all good here.
Nice. So we had Liam Santa Maria on one of our early episodes there, and he said that Gorgon in that season with the Titans pretty much got his name wrong. Sort of every time he mentioned to him, every time he called him
Santa Marie. What did he call him?
Yeah, something. I forget what it was. It was funny the way he told us.
I'll go through the boys. Dupe is doable. I don't know. ACX gets mixed up. Tyler gets his name though. Justin and Justinian. So we would be in a thing and he goes, I'm thinking about running a double away for Justin. And obviously Justin was saved out.
Yeah, Justin Simon. You're thinking he's gone, Gorge. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And I'm going, no, this was last year. I'm going, we want to run a double away for Justin. He goes, yeah. And I go, can't shoot.
You sure?
I think he's losing. Gorge is losing his mind. It's done. You know what I mean? And then I've lost my nickname. I used to be J. Well, I'm never JJ because JJ's been here forever. But now JJ's JJ. Duop is Dupe. X is AC and X. Harry and Sam. Don't know how you get them to. Greeter gets his name wrong all the time. Emmett's fine. I'm just thinking Isaac and Emmett get mixed up all the time. So tell Liam it's no different. I've never been called Jacob. He has never called me Jacob in my time. It's J, Jake, or JJ. You know, in my time, he's never called me by my name. So I think it's because early days he didn't know what my name was.
Fair enough. Easy just to run with J or something like that. Yeah. Nice. Well, maybe you haven't been in trouble with him yet. Maybe if he actually has to call you Jacob, you've done something wrong. So you're doing well so far. Maybe.
I've definitely been in trouble with him. Don't worry about that.
Nice. Oh, look, really enjoyed that, Jacob. It's great to sort of hear about sort of obviously how your career's gone so far, and some really interesting stories there. So we really appreciate that. I guess we just wanted to sort of just talk a little bit about the NBL and sort of obviously Woods. I might start with you there, mate. So obviously round 10's in the books now. Just wanted to maybe see what your thoughts were on the round and possibly which team stood out to you there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tasmania. I know you're going to touch on that, so I'll leave that for you. A bit disappointed that my Kings lost to them away, and we got the home victory against New Zealand. But I think I'll speak about the Cairns Taipans. I know Jake's going up against them in a few days as well. But I mean, they played with a lot of heart, right? And to beat that Brisbane team, I think Coach Ford got a great game. Coach Ford got them playing real good, and they were severely undermanned. Had 4 or 5 guys out. So just to see Bull Kewell, man, like light it up, man. Right? The kid's got talent. I think Ken's going to have Scotty Machado, Mirko Jeric back this week. So,
are you giving Jacob some tips for the?
You got that down. I'm hearing fitness tests. So you got it down.
I'm hearing that Scotty Machado and Jeric are likely to play this week, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but
interesting.
What are you holding out on us? You want the Kings to win, huh? All right.
No, but I was pretty happy with the way Cairns played, and I think people are sleeping on him a little bit, and Coach Ford got him playing well, so that's one of the highlights of the round for me.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, why don't you sort of obviously just do a little bit of a preview while we've got sort of Coach Jacob on the show, and maybe sort of put up those games for week 11 there, Woods, and maybe we'll just give it a couple of quick thoughts on some of those games there, right?
Yeah, sure. All right, so tonight we got the Kings and Melbourne. You know what I think. Xavier Munford's out today, so
I saw that. They've still got a few
out. Gibbo's in though.
Yeah,
is he really?
Yeah, Gibbo's in.
Wow.
Yeah,
because Adnam's out as well. Still,
Adnam's out. Yeah.
So is Gibbo playing or coaching?
Playing. What a player's always got one good game left in him.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Nice.
So I mean, you wouldn't have minded having Xavier Munford out last week, right?
Yeah, he got us. Yeah, he got us.
No, I mean, I think
you got to play right.
I'm going to do something I don't normally do and pick the Kings for that game there, Woods. I don't know why, but maybe I'll pick the Kings for that.
We've had trouble winning on the road, so we've got to start somewhere. All right, let's move on to tomorrow. Adelaide, Brisbane. I mean, both these guys need a victory. Who you guys got?
Yeah, look, I'm going to say Brisbane. I'm finding a little bit hard to work out Brisbane. As you can see, what have they lost? 3 in a row there as well. So they are obviously sort
4
of
in a row. Yeah,
4 in a row. Is it trending downwards a little bit? Look, I'd be pretty hopeful that Brisbane would win at home. I think probably Sobey's fitness will be an important sort of factor for that. But I'll say if Sobey's playing, Brisbane to win.
Yeah, I think Brisbane. I think Brisbane's going to win as well. It's also in Brisbane, which is a big. They're hard to beat there, and I know that they have lost some games there, but I mean, Coach Duncan, he's doing a good job too there. Like and obviously Sobey's good basketball player, and they were missing him when they did lose, so that does hurt a bit.
Awesome.
So that next game, Woods, are we going to be watching that or what?
Definitely going to be watching that. So, JJ, you're telling me that potentially Machado and Jericho are a fitness test on the day. Is that right? Or
I mean, that's what Twitter's saying. And doesn't Twitter tell you everything?
Yeah. Look, I was just checking the NBL website, and there's some talk that they might be back. So, I mean, you'd have to plan slightly differently for the Taipans with Scotty Machado back, obviously. So, yeah.
Good player. I mean, you're going to pick us, right?
Yeah,
of course.
Definitely going to pick you. Yeah, I think it'll be a bounce back game. And look, and I must say, Jacob, Woody's a Kings fan, but he loves Cairns as well. Keanu Pinder's one of his sort of favourites in the league there, so he'll probably be on the fence there. But look, I'm definitely going to go.
He's playing well. He's playing well.
Yeah, he's playing well.
He's looking good. He's in my dream team, in my fantasy team for this week too. So
good one.
Yeah, he's someone I know as well. So always want to support him. So just one question I want to ask you there, Coach. Now I know it's been no secret that there've been a few struggles on the defensive end with you guys of late. And I want to ask about AJ Ogilvy. I mean, he's a captain of the team. Last year he was a great contributor, on your team. Is there any chance of us seeing him, come into the rotation and see some minutes in the back half of the season?
Yeah, that's a good question, Woody.
Snuck it in, didn't he?
Yeah, it's a good one. I like it. I thought you forgot about it. But the look, we've signed Duop and obviously Sam, and AK's
Harry as well.
Harry's playing as well. And AJ is the leader of the team. You know what I mean? And still does a really good job from the spot he's in. And there's a few captains in the league that don't play. You know what I mean?
I hear that. Yeah.
Like that. But I mean, right now is that is there a chance? There's always a chance to get back into the rotation. And he did help us a lot and did stable mark a lot of the things we were good at last year. So now all he might need is a bit of an opportunity at some stage, and it does come out through a season like this. But with that COVID break, we got over a lot of niggles. So there's a lot of health in our group. But I wouldn't write him off at all. We haven't written him off at all. He's staying ready. Like, I mean, we had the guys that don't play today come in, and they did something today that it was yuck. You know what I mean? Like, in regard to fitness, I just wouldn't have done, I just probably would have quit. But yeah, man, like, he's staying ready. There's always a chance with that sort of stuff. And yeah, he was a massive part of it last year. And, I mean, him and Emmett, they might come in and put a little bit of egg on our face at some stage.
Yeah. Well, big one for me there, Jacob, obviously watching it, even that game earlier when you guys played Sydney, I know we sort of spoke a little bit that day sort of thing. I'm really impressed with sort of AJ, he's kind of cheerleading and encouraging the teammates there. It's really noticeable to me. And obviously that game, he was the first person on the court in timeouts and quarter time breaks. And he was, giving encouragement to the Froling boys and to Duop and everything else like that. So for me, seeing that, I was really, really impressed with that. Obviously people could sort of go either way in this situation, couldn't they? And it's great to see him handling it the way he is.
Well, it goes back to everything, like I know it's not great for him or anything like that right now, but obviously things change. But it goes back to what you said. It just proves that teams are tight. You know what I mean? And some of the guys have been through, and guys in the league have been through it. Everyone goes through it. You know what I mean? Not everyone plays. It's a 40-minute game.
Well, AJ went to school not pretty much around the corner from where we live there as well. There, right. So we've always had a bit of a soft spot for him there. So we're sort of Hills boys in Sydney. So
one of the first 18 boys team I coached, he beat by 90. So yeah, thanks AJ.
Wow.
Yeah, my career was nearly over as quick. I didn't coach that game either. I sent someone else, but that was good.
That was smart.
Yeah, it was a great coaching move.
Nice.
All right, so maybe we move on, which I think might be the game of the round. We got Melbourne versus Perth. I think Robbie, take it away.
Yeah, that is going to be a great game. I mean, look, Jacob's probably not aware I'm a lifelong Wildcats fan there, so it's pretty hard for me to tip against them. But look, I love the way Perth played against South East last week. I'm really impressed with the way Fraser's sort of come along the last few weeks. Hodgson's back this week, so not sure if that's a good or a bad thing, but we can kind of leave that there. But I'm going to say Perth, just to really surprise you there, Woods.
Coach?
Oh, sorry. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Melbourne lost, and they got a good. They'll come back. I'm just thinking about the matchups right now. You know what I mean? I'm putting my hat on right now. I think Melbourne's going to tip it, but you wouldn't be. It's not going to be a blowout, and you wouldn't be surprised if Perth win. And I've just sat on the fence really hard there, haven't I?
You did it well, yeah. Well, it should be a good game.
It's really good.
Well, after losing to Tasmania and Adelaide last couple of games, Melbourne will have a point to prove. They're playing at home, so I'm going to go with Coach on this one and go with Melbourne. And the next one, Southeast Melbourne versus Tasmania. Before you give us your tip, guys, maybe speak on a little bit about the Jack Jumpers and the job that Coach Roth is doing over there, and big surprise this year, and everyone I think is having them as their second favorite team this year because of the way they're going about things, right?
I was going to say, Woods, that's a good point. I think everyone was, obviously, they enjoyed watching Hobart playing back in the day. So having Tasmania back now is a big thing. And I've enjoyed sort of, obviously Roth was with my boys for a while there as well, but loving sort of seeing his passion. That was kind of seeing that emotion after the game last week. And obviously, with them getting that first win away from Tasmania as well, it was good to see. So I like the way they play. I mean, obviously, Woods, we're both Josh Majette fans, aren't we there? So I think Magnay's really come along good the last few weeks. Your boy McIntosh had the game that saved him getting on a flight back to the States there. So hopefully he can continue that as well. But what are you thinking about the job they're doing there, JJ?
I mean, it just looks like us last year. Nothing to lose, come in. Everyone writes you off. They play hard. Coach was really, it seems like he's been there forever. In Tasmania, it would be hard. Obviously, you hear that he hasn't had his wife there and stuff. And, you could tell by the first victory they had against Brisbane, he loves everything about it. He's just he's a lifer. It seems like down there. He's going to settle down there. So, I don't really want him beating us, and they just knocked us out of the 4 and everything like that. But the league needs that team, the team that keeps everyone honest. And it needs, those bigger teams to do that. It makes the league a great league. So they're doing everything. They're doing everything they can. And I know some of the assistants there as well, which is great. Mika's there. He's an unbelievable, and I think they'll win.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think so too. Rob?
Southeast might get their guys back, and they're playing with a lot of emotion right now. And they had a great win against us, but I just, it is in Melbourne, but so.
I'll say Southeast. I'm picking him to lose tonight's game, so I'm not expecting him to drop 2. But no, definitely good points. You've obviously both raised there. So.
Yep, and then on Sunday, I'm going to get out to the game at Kudos Bank Arena, Sydney versus Brisbane.
Hey, Woods, does Sydney have a home game every weekend? What's the go, mate? Seriously.
I think we've played 10 now, so the back half of the season is just going to be on the road. So
must be a luxury for your team to actually play at home, right? I wish I could say the same about mine.
Yeah, but I got Sydney in that one for sure.
Yeah, I'll say Sydney as well for that.
Yeah.
Although, you would wish the result would fall the other way, in the best interest of you guys, right?
I don't know.
Just nod if you agree. Don't say anything. Yeah.
I can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. So, I can't figure out who's the best for us to lose or not to lose.
Yeah, it can change week by week.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then the last game, Cairns versus New Zealand. I think Cairns will get this done if.
That's New Zealand's only game, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'll say
Cairns at home against New Zealand.
I can't quite work out New Zealand this year, so I'll say Cairns for that.
Yeah. Well, they'll be bouncing back from a loss, so more than likely.
That's exactly right. Totally agree.
I like it, coach. I like it, coach.
Nice.
I don't know why I said that. I'm going to kick myself. But anyway.
That's all good. Yeah, that was great there. We're sort of going through those. And look, before we wrap it up today, boys, I know it's sort of been very NBL sort of focused. Just wanted to just quickly sort of check in, I guess. Obviously, we know the trade deadline in the NBAs. I think it's finishes maybe sort of early tomorrow morning our time. There's been a few trades so far. So for those that sort of don't know, there's two pretty big ones yesterday involving Sacramento and Indiana. I'll just quickly sort of read out the names. So Sacramento got Sabonis, Lamb, and Holiday. The Kings gave up Tristan Thompson, Buddy Hield, and somewhat surprisingly, young Tyrese Halliburton. Then there was also a trade between Portland and New Orleans, which I guess the main name out of that trade was CJ McCollum finally moving on from the Blazers and going to New Orleans there. And then lastly, we saw a three-team trade today. Fairly minor trade, but obviously we saw our boy Joe Ingles getting traded to Portland. So Woody and Jacob, just wanted to get your thoughts on these moves, boys. What are you sort of thinking about these trades?
You want me to go, Woody?
Go, coach. Over to you.
How do you say it again?
Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah,
he's a really good player.
Yeah.
So that's one there, and Sabonis is. I mean, I guess what we're thinking is they got rid of Sabonis because they couldn't play him and Turner together. Would that be fair?
Possibly got rid of the wrong guy, I reckon, but yeah, I think totally fair.
I mean, I think Sabonis is a hell of a player. I don't know why everyone gets rid of him, but those are the two major gets, in that way. And the thing with Sacramento, it sounds like, like we in China, we had a bunch of guys that played at Sacramento and never played in the league again. So it's sort of like a place where you go to rest. So if you can get out, obviously your game gets a bit better. So what's his name?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Just call him Tyrese.
Yeah, I think he's going to shine a little bit there. And then there's rumors going around, and again, it's Twitter. I shouldn't probably listen to it, but there's rumors going around that Joe is not going to be ready to play for Portland ever with, unfortunately, what's gone on. And he'll just sign back at Utah when it's done.
That's correct.
What I'm hearing too. Yeah,
that is correct.
Interesting.
I hear he's not even going to leave Utah. He's going to rehab in Utah. He's not even going to report to Portland, and really? Utah are looking to re-sign him next year. But I mean, the sad thing is they could go on. Yeah.
Who pays him? How does that work?
Yeah, Portland.
Wade's a part owner now. Maybe he could flick him a few notes or something.
We'll get him on the gram. But isn't it? I think Portland's trying to open up to get another max player, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's
for salary reasons.
They're trying to do, even though they had to get rid of one piece and this and that. So is Simmons getting traded, or what do you got, Woody?
I don't think so. This year, right? I mean, there's the Harden Simmons talk that's
no way
that's buzzing right now, but I think they'll just hold out till the off season. I guess one thing I will mention is, and everyone's saying Halliburton getting traded and whatnot is stupid on the Sacramento side of things. It's a typical Sacramento move. But when we talk about Sabonis, right, this guy, he's a great screen setter. He's a great creator out of the post. He's good at dribble handoffs and things. He's a very good player. He's the best player in this trade currently.
22 and 15 in his first game for the Kings today.
He's definitely the best player in the trade.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. There's no question about that.
He will still play well with De'Aaron Fox. So it's sure getting rid of Halliburton isn't the brightest idea, but they've got a good player in.
It would be. So Buddy Hield was one of my favorite college players of all time. I don't know if you ever saw him in college, but
we did. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how he goes in a different environment as well. Because he's getting out. Whatever. I don't know what happens at Sacramento, and I know inside, but you see it a lot of. It doesn't work a lot of times. And
you're right.
But let's see what happens when he gets pulled out, and if he reaches that potential that we thought, or if he's just. And he's a very good player. That'd be an interesting one as well. A real interesting one.
The absolute worst thing about that trade there, boys, is my daughter's favorite player is Buddy Hield. So now I'm up $100 buying her a new jersey. So I was a little bit dirty about that trade myself, but we'll see if Indiana actually keep him before I start getting on NBA Store before I do that. So
you can't really talk about people wanting a lot of jerseys, could you?
He can't.
True. I'm just trying to get, because we're Atlanta Hawks fans, so I don't want to get all these random players. Just get Trey, John Collins, maybe in a Kongwu jersey or something like that. That'd be nice. But All right, good stuff there, boys. Well, that kind of brings us to the end of the show. And look, it's been really fun having you on there, Jacob. I can't thank you enough. Look, probably before I sort of get into our little sort of spiel here, just wanted to sort of thank our mutual friend there, Stephen Pires, who sort of put us together.
Absolutely.
I know he was, you went to school with him, and he's been a real good workmate of mine over the years. So shout out to you there, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, and look, obviously, just wanted to thank everyone for tuning in. As I briefly mentioned at the start of the show, please subscribe to us on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And also just a reminder where we can be followed. On Twitter, we're at Throwbacks Hoops. Instagram, we're throwback.hoops. And of course, our email address, keep those questions coming in, throwbackhoopspodcast@gmail.com. Woods, you want to tell us a little bit about your TikTok and the Patreon there, mate?
Yeah, so TikTok, guys, Woody_V83. If you jump on my TikTok channel, we showcase some of the jerseys we wear on the show and give you little snippets of the program. And if you just click on my YouTube link on TikTok, it'll take you to our YouTube channel, and you can see all the episodes, and you can watch them there. And Patreon, look, if anyone wants to pledge their support, jump on. We'd appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, Robbie.
About that dream I had the other night, Woods, about Mark Cuban coming on our show and then pledging like a giant amount of money to us on Patreon. So yeah, an only dream, I guess. So if you're listening, Mark Cuban, come on anytime you're ready. All right, so Jacob, you mentioned Twitter a little bit. Can people sort of find you on there, or where's
I got the Instagram thing going on. Nice. I'm quite active on it with videos of Dan Greeter in the gym. Doing his rehab and birthday shout outs. It's Sam Froling's birthday today. Happy birthday, Sam.
Happy birthday, Sam.
Nice. Sammy boy. So, and then when our games are on, so my dad can watch them because he forgets sometimes that I coach basketball on TV. So so my brother can remind him. But yeah, I got it. It's my name with an underscore in the middle of it. So Jacob Jackomas at whatever it is at that you got it. And yeah, man, I'm all good. It's not the most active thing, but it gets it done. No,
awesome. Well, look, we can't thank you enough for coming on there, Jacob. It's been great. I mean, maybe we can sort of link up again. Maybe sort of when the season's not on. We do appreciate your time. We know you've got a game in a couple of days, and your time's very precious there. So yeah, just a huge thank you from the Throwback Hoops crew for coming on, and obviously for everyone listening there. I'm just to let you know we've got a very special All-Star preview and another special guest next week. So please tune in. Woody, final word?
Man, just a pleasure to chop it up with you, Coach. And if we can ever get Robbie out of the house when you're in Sydney next, we should take you out for a beer, man, for sure, right?
Appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate it.
It's been great. All right, so much love from the Throwback Hoops crew.
Oh, one more thing, man. One more thing.
Ben Simmons has traded?
No, man, we got to say congratulations to our producer, Lala. Yeah. And why do we got to say congratulations to Lala, Robbie?
Yep. So congratulations to Lala and his wife on the birth of their firstborn son yesterday, Nico, right, Woods? So,
Nico, man, yeah. Nico, little baller.
Massive shout out. So looks like I'm taking over the producing duties now because he's a newborn dad, but no, massive shout out to Lala there. So, all right, awesome. So, all right, much love from the Throwback Hoops crew, and can't wait to do it all again next week. Peace out.
Next week, guys.
Thanks, guys.